Nouns can be singular or plural. So we have computer if there is one, and if there are two or more, we add s. Nouns like these are called countable nouns. In your room, you may have one pillow on your bed, or you may have three. You can count them. But there are some nouns that you can't count. Let's take coffee beans. We can count coffee beans, but after they have been through the grinder, it's impossible to count how many granules of coffee powder you have. Nouns like these are called uncountable nouns. We can count the coffee beans, but we can't count coffee. There are categories of the kinds of nouns that are generally uncountable. We can't count things that are powder, like coffee, sugar, or dust. We can't count gas, like oxygen or smoke. We can't count liquid, like wine or water. Other categories of uncountable nouns are the material that our world is made from, like wood, gold, or iron. Sport, like tennis and football. Things that come in lumps or blobs, which we call mass nouns. This includes things like pork, bread, and butter. Things in nature, like wind, rain, and lightning. Abstract nouns, like happiness and peace. Groups of nouns. For example, tables and chairs are countable, but together they make the furniture group, which is uncountable. So we can say two chairs, but not two furnitures. And finally, school subjects like history or art. All of these kinds of nouns are uncountable, so we can't say 2 airs, 6 tennises, or 3 happinesses. Uncountable nouns cause our students a lot of problems. That's because the classification of uncountable nouns in English is sometimes a little idiosyncratic. For example, students find it difficult to think of money as uncountable when clearly we can count it. But in English, money is a group made up of currencies like pounds and dollars. So we can say $3, but we don't say 3 monies. And some uncountable nouns are just plain confusing. One example is spaghetti, which is uncountable, while noodles are countable, even though they look almost the same. It makes English interesting. Let's go back to the example of money. We can count dollars, but not money. So we can't say 3 monies, but we can say 3 bags of money, or 3 rolls of money. Words like bag and roll are quantifiers, and we can add quantifiers to uncountable nouns to make them countable. All uncountable nouns can be made countable by adding a quantifier. So we can't say 1 coffee, but we can say 1 spoon of coffee. We don't say 1 air, but we can say 1 breath of air. We can't really say 1 wine, but 1 glass of wine is fine. It's okay to say 1 plank of wood, but not 1 wood, and so on. Because of these quantifiers, the way we use uncountable nouns in casual speech may make it seem like they are countable. For example, we might lazily say 2 coffees instead of 2 cups of coffee, even though coffee as a liquid can't be counted. There are 3 things our students need to know about the way uncountable nouns work. The first is verb agreement. In this sentence, there is only 1 computer, so we have the singular verb is. But when there are 2 computers, we use the plural verb are. So with countable nouns, the noun and verb can be singular or plural. However, uncountable nouns always behave like they are singular, and so we never use the plural verb. So for example, we say the money is in the bag, but never the money are in the bag. So uncountable nouns always are singular. The second thing students need to know about uncountable nouns is how they work with articles. You remember that articles are a, an, and the. Countable nouns can pair with any of these. We can say there is an aeroplane or the aeroplane is there. But not so with uncountable nouns. Gold is uncountable because it is a material, so we can say there is gold. The uncountable noun doesn't need an article. If we have to put an article, uncountable nouns will only pair with the and never a. So it's okay to say there is the gold, but not there is a gold. The third important thing students need to know is how quantity questions work with uncountable nouns. Apples are countable, so we can ask how many apples are there. But bread is a mass uncountable noun, so instead we must use the question how much bread is there? Notice we can't use how many, and the verb is singular. To review, we have seen that many nouns are countable, but there are certain nouns that are uncountable. These uncountable nouns can be made countable by adding in a quantifier. In sentences, uncountable nouns always act as singular. They don't generally take articles, and they use the question form how much. To see if you've got this, think about the difference between there is chicken and there are chickens.